Listen, you're not gonna find anything on me, okay? Trust me.
Empty your pockets into the tray, sir, or we'll have to. Your pockets, sir?
Lady, the problem isn't in my pants.
Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes. It's time for all things X-Men. We've got a little bit more than just comic books. Obviously, they've been rolling out the Destiny of X information. I kind of talked about it earlier in the week, but now that we've got Doc, we've also got some information regarding the titles, and we'll go through all that. And we're definitely going to hit the Hellions finale, Hellions 18. Pour one out for me and one for the Hellions, because it sucks that book's going out, but it absolutely went out with a bang. Obviously, here with me to talk about that is the X-Men historian, the Marvel aficionado. Doc, how you doing, buddy?
I am, I'm a little sad this week because Hellions did end, but I am happy that it happened because it really was a great comic book, like the whole way through, all 18 issues. And now, yeah, do I wish I would have had about 18 to 54 more? Yes, but I got 18 and I got 18 good issues out of it. Now, and you know what? I did get Inferno too. The only thing that was kind of even slightly disappointing this week was, X-Men Legends, but we ain't even talking about that. So, no, it was overall a pretty good X-Men week.
As far as the comics, but the news,
no. Yeah, the comics that were released this week were actually pretty solid. The news that came out this week, dear God, why?
So we've got the Destiny of X event. I did a pretty big video. I did some of my speculations on there. I was right as far as the identity of the Kieron Gillen title. It is Immortal X-Men. And my goodness, Doc, I thought Immortal X-Men, maybe it's going to be dealing with the Five or some type of concept like this. I never, in my wildest dreams, did I think they would try to do an ongoing X-Men series about the Quiet Council and the backdoor politics of Krakoa. I just want to puke.
In fairness, isn't that what Hickman has done for basically the entire time?
He's sprinkled it in here and there. It hasn't been the sole focus of his run.
I'd say about 60%, but regardless, we're going all the way, full blown, 100% politics, the comic. Oh, great. Yay. Because that's what we need right now.
Did no one learn from the prequel trilogy from Star Wars that you can't go too heavy on the interstellar politics that don't actually exist and just bore the crap out of your customers?
Yeah, and that seems like what they're about to do. They're like, you know why? I think because Kieron Gillen just has to write talking head comics. The guy's not, in my opinion, I've never thought he was all that great at action comics.
Man, you need to read his Darth Vader comic because that thing kicked ass.
Okay, I mean, I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. But my experience was that he's much better at those talking head comics, and he just made himself a complete talking head comic over with Immortal X-Men.
They should call it X-Men Exposition.
Yeah, the expositional X-Men.
Just so you know what you're getting when you go in there.
Yeah,
the quiet council meetings around with the Knights of the Round Table or whatever that stupid thing.
Yeah, like that weird three. Because what I really need to do is see all of them bitching and bitching. Like the first two issues of Inferno are essentially a much better version of what we're about to get in every issue of Kieron Gillen's Immortal X-Men.
The good thing is, and there's always a positive to go with negatives, is up to this point, I felt like Mr. Sinister has been far too butch during the Jonathan Hickman era, and it's good that Kieron Gillen's going to get in here and, take some of that masculinity off that character.
Yeah, because, we actually were starting to get, like, Zeb Wells and Hellions was kind of, now he was still playing it up a little bit, but there was the possibility that we could maybe go an entire issue with Mr. Sinister without a dumb fucking cape joke. And maybe him not sounding like a just really flamboyantly, I don't know, just maybe we were going to get an issue with him actually being sinister and not just, you know, whatever the hell he is now. Because he's just prancing.
I don't know. What do you think? What do you think they're going to do with the Immortal X-Men? Is it just going to be the exploits and the backstabbing politics and the, you know, honestly, going behind the scenes to backdoor deals and stuff within the Quiet Council?
That seems like all it's going to be. And every once in a while, there's going to be a little bit of a fight with two Quiet Council.
Queen Bee, right?
Emma
Frost.
Yeah,
this maybe is basically Emma Frost and Mr. Sinister can have a cat fight.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. At this point, it's going to be Shaw and Exodus just kind of sitting there going like, "We're always left.
Please kill
these
me.
Things. Yeah.
Do not resurrect me."
Yes. Can I get off this fucking council? Yes. This is annoying. No,
honestly, we'll review the first issue and when X-Men Exposition, also known as Immortal X-Men, comes out. But I'll be honest, just with the idea and the premise of the book, I have less than zero hope for this.
Yeah. With the writer and the premise, I have no hope for it because I don't even respect Kieron Gillen as a writer.
I do. I think he's done some really good stuff, but his X-Men sucked. And he when he does the talking heads, it's just not very enjoyable. We got some more information. We knew this. We know that they're going to reboot Marauders. Jerry Duggan ain't got time for that no more. He's moving on, and we're getting Steve Orlando as the big hire. They're acting like they hired this like superstar creator. It's like, listen, dude, it's Steve Orlando. No one gives a shit. Like they're rebooting the book for him and giving them a new team, but you still got to have Kate Prime on it.
Kitty. You can keep everybody can call her Kate from now until forever. She's still going to be Kitty to 99% of X fans.
Well, she was Kitty Pryde when she was 14. She's like a 23-year-old woman now.
I don't give a shit. She will always be Kitty. And you know what, X Office? You can all suck our dicks if you think we're going to change.
Well, you can't to me because I'm not along with that. I'm following. I've fine called her Kate Pryde. It's no skin off me.
Nope. She will always be Kitty. So no.
Well, whatever. So Kate or Kitty's still on the team, but we got all new team members. I'll be honest. I looked at the cover and I took a mental note and I've forgotten all about it. Like who the hell's on this team again?
Let's see. We have Dakin, Bishop.
Yes.
So basically this is the leftovers of they're going to kind of mash together all of the other failed books over there. Looks like
Psylocke's in there.
Tempo. Obviously Lockheed. I don't even know who the dude with the fucking smiley face shirt in white is with the weird.
Are you talking about the half moon thing?
Yeah, that half moon upside down smiley face thing. I don't know.
I looked at the Destiny of X promo image. I thought that was Nightcrawler with just like a medallion or something. Obviously, I was wrong on that one.
No, I got no. Oh, it looks like Aurora. Sorry. So North Star's sister. So apparently she's there. Tempo and Somnus. Oh, wait, Somnus, isn't he one of the ones from like one of these terrible like Marvel Voices books that they've decided to try to make a thing? I think that's where Somnus came from. Yeah, I think that's where it came from. Oh yeah, yep. He debuted apparently in Marvel Voices Pride #1.
There you go.
So it's Steve Orlando's self-insert character for this comic. because he does it in every comic except the only one that he didn't do it in was the Midnighter and Apollo, or Midnighter and then Midnighter and Apollo.
I have no hopes for this one either, although there is a chance, because I thought Jerry Duggan dropped the ball on this one, although some people seem to like Marauders, that maybe Steve Orlando does something more exciting.
I think that Steve Orlando is a more talented writer than Jerry Duggan. I do. No, Jerry Duggan is boring as shit. He has never done
Savage
anything.
Sword of Conan was like a 5-star book every single issue.
Okay, I'll take your word for it, but everything else he's ever written sucks.
Savage Avengers was pretty damn good all the way through.
I'm sorry, what did Cullen Bunn do now? I'm sorry, they're still the same fucking person.
Shadow Man.
Fuck that, they're the same person.
Savage Avengers is good. It's not my fault you skipped the good books and read his Deadpool.
Regardless, I think Steve Orlando is a better writer than Jerry Duggan.
Because he was the last writer to do a good Midnighter and Apollo story. Those are your favorite characters.
Yeah, he is. He's the last writer to do a decent Midnighter and Apollo story. Now, everything else I've heard that he's done has been pretty mediocre to bad, but you know what?
We need to read Commanders in Crisis. I heard that was fantastic.
I think you're being facetious, sir. No, but I think he could probably do. Okay, never mind. I almost made a joke that you absolutely would have had to edit out.
Well, I appreciate that.
And no, but I think he could probably do decent on Marauders.
I don't know. Are you in for Destiny of X? Is this the
No.
soft reboot that you needed to get you reinvigorated and excited for X-Men? Because it's not working for me at all.
No, this is a guarantee. Look, you know what the destiny of my destiny is with X-Men is to be an X-Men reader. That's what they've put me to. I might. Oh, I have a feeling Knights of X
is going to be Tinny Howard still doing Excalibur stuff.
Oh, it's Excalibur. Yeah, it's Excalibur 2.0.
X-Men Red, I think, might be Al Ewing with the stuff on Mars, or it might be Madeline Pryor.
Yeah,
one or the other.
No, Madeline Pryor is already. They already announced this one. All of her story is going to continue in New Mutants. So, to get the payoff for
why
Hellions,
wasn't that one rebooted? I don't get why New Mutants is still there. That's like the weird outlier.
Because they don't want to embarrass Vita with yet another cancellation. Sorry, that's what it comes down to.
Themselves with every cancellation.
I understand that, but they don't want to embarrass her with another cancellation when that's been Vita's entire career is take over a book, get it canceled. Take over a book, get it canceled. Have a mini series, get it canceled. Have a series announced as an ongoing series and get it turned into a mini series before
we're not
even launched. So that's the reason why.
Vita, yeah.
But the Madeline Pryor story from Hellions, if you want to read the continuation of that, which was going to be an interesting story, you got to go read fucking Vita Ayala's New Mutants. So needless to say, I don't know what's going to ever happen to Madeline Pryor. I will never find out. It's going to be disappointing.
Let's get over this Destiny stuff. We talked about it enough, obviously on the aficionados as well. Let's get into this Hellions 18. It's time to take out your 40, pour one out for the Hellions, because this series goes out with a bang. Zeb Wells. The only reason I'm not giving this like a 5 out of 5 highest recommendation, Doc, is because there's 2 artists. For some reason, Steven Segovia didn't do the whole thing. So the second half of it, or the last 10 pages that he does, looks absolutely fantastic. And the first 20 pages look fine, but in comparison are less than. And I didn't like that part. So that's the only thing keeping it from being like almost a perfect comic.
Yeah, I mean, now I did have one other qualm on this book, is that it was more of an epilogue than a finale.
Yes.
And that was a little disappointing. I expected them to, after the last issue with, Orphan Maker, like having killed those cops, I would have expected them to have to be, it was setting up them on the run and needing to somehow get out of America without a gateway seed portal thing, and them trying to find their way out of America as like outlaws, but instead like any sort of cool repercussions from that just end up more quiet council bullshit.
They got to do the reboots, obviously.
Yeah.
It would have been better as a continuation in Runaways, then they could actually sell that book.
Yeah, exactly.
But we got what we got, Doc. We got to live in the now.
We did.
Think about what we didn't get. And I'm going to tell you right now, my favorite part of this book, I fucking loved it. When they condemn Orphan Maker to the pits, and the whole team is like, no. And then Nanny shows up and says, I'm going with my boy. And they say, that's not how it works. He's going to the pits for killing a human. You didn't do that. You can't go. And she says, I will go out there and kill every human I can get my hands on until you send me down there with him if you don't do it now. And then who did she say she was going to kill Kate Pryde's mom?
Yeah. She was going to, she asks whether or not Kitty's mom, she goes, Kate, how is Terry? Still living at 1412 Central Avenue? And like, she's like just straight up like, yes, I already know where all of your families live, and I will straight up fucking murder them if you don't send me where I want right now.
And they're like a great closeout for the two characters.
It was, because it makes sense. It is very, very fitting. And they reconcile, because they had been kind of very, strained relationship and like growing very much apart, especially, obviously Orphan Maker still wanted his nanny, but Nanny wanted to find a replacement, a different baby to take care of instead of Peter. But then, she saw that all blow up in her face, and she realized how great she has it with Orphan Maker. And as a result, they reconcile their issues.
That's a perfect ending for those two characters.
I think it is too, because look, I don't think Orphan Maker and Nanny are all that interesting of characters normally, but Zeb Wells kind of found a very good vibe for them. I wouldn't trust anybody else to do it, to follow up and like kind of take on those characters. So I kind of like the fact that Zeb Wells is like, nah, you know what? These are the characters. I'm making them off limits to everybody else, because all of you people are a bunch of clowns that are going to fuck this up.
And then who else we got? We got Scalp Hunter. He's going to go on the run, but beforehand he was going to murder Empath, which I wouldn't have blamed him. But Psylocke kind of talks him out of that. It sounds like he's leaving the island. He doesn't feel like he has a home there. I wish he would have pulled the trigger.
Yeah,
good to murder him one last time because he's such an asshole.
I do too, because that should have been kind of it was kind of a recurring gag of who's going to kill. Well, how many times can Scalp Hunter kill Empath? But at the same time, there is all that obvious tension between him and Psylocke does get rectified. Like it does, you do get a little bit of conclusion on that between Psylocke stopping him from killing Empath, and then their later scene at the end with them on the beach, kind of connecting. Now, Empath, I thought his arc was a little interesting. First, he starts the fight when everybody gets off the jet, bringing Orphan Maker back. Then he also ends it. Then he ends up with all the old Hellions, and they are really pissed off that he's back. And then he just makes them love him again. But you can see that it's very
unhappy.
Hollow. Yeah, it's hollow. He wants to actually be liked, but he's still a douchebag, and he will always be a douchebag. So they're never gonna. The only people that he can get to like him are the people that he makes like him.
Yeah. As far as Sinister goes, we see he's still got the I believe the DNA for a lot of the Omega level mutants.
Yeah,
in his secret little chamber. But we knew that before this series started, so I guess this is just a reminder.
Now, though, the one thing that I really disliked in this comic, and this is something that's been a bit of a problem for a while, is, you know, like whenever Psylocke, I think it was Psylocke attacked Sinister twice. And see, sorry, but even Psylocke going up against Sinister, he has, like, you can't knock his friggin' teeth out like that. You just can't. That really does irritate me. That's the one thing that's really irritated a bit me about this whole comic, though. Nobody seems to understand what Sinister's power set is, and that's really irritating to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
so I guess the big one is the Alex story that eventually they comment. It sounds like Emma Frost was behind this, but they decided to resurrect Madeline Pryor. Cyclops isn't very happy about it, but obviously Alex is, and there's like a weird, it feels like she has two personalities.
Yes.
Like, get off me, and then, you know, hey, oh yeah, I like you.
Yeah. It's real, like, original Madeline, like flight suit pilot Madeline, and then Goblin Queen Madeline. And I feel like this reset a little bit, and in a good way. It reset Madeline's overall personality back to kind of where that Goblin Queen is a potential for her. Instead of that's who she is. Yeah, exactly. It's a potential for her, not who she really is. And I feel like this is another case of her settling for Alex. And it's gonna break Alex again, because he's gonna understand that she was settling for him the entire time. Because she couldn't have Scott.
So I love this issue, specifically the Nanny and Orphan Maker stuff, but a lot of the stuff felt in character. I'm disappointed Zeb Wells isn't going to continue this, and you know, and that's too bad. But it just makes it easier to let go of X-Men, I guess.
It does, because now there's no big book that, like, I'm sitting there going like, I really like this one, and hopefully everything else can be as good as this one. No, this one doesn't even exist anymore. So I thank you, Zeb, for making a good comic, and wish you well in the Spider Office.
And you know, Destiny of X, soft reboot. They're continuing 3 titles: X-Men, which was just rebooted not that long ago, X-Force, Wolverine, New Mutants, whatever. We're getting a full reboot on Marauders, and then a bunch of, I think it's 4 new titles. It's like, I guess if you can't, you know, sell your books on quality, you just got to constantly reboot and get back to #1 issues and hope that people go in and buy the first 3 issues before they leave again.